Welcome to POL Classics. Be sure to check out the best of POL from over the years. It's at its most popular day and time, and guess what? It's only on WNEP+.
WNEP proudly presents the premier outdoor show in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, your window to the great outdoors. Tonight on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life.
We're getting ready for the opening day with some pre-season trout stocking. And field staff member Ray Sahaki shows us how easy it is to make our own jigs.
The trout is stocked. Pennsylvania Outdoor Life starts right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. I'm Don Jacobs, along with Ken Hunter, and of course, we have a lot to talk about right now. I mean, this is the first weekend of spring. We're hearing people tell us that turkeys are gobbling, but probably the most important thing on people's minds right now is the opening of the Pennsylvania trout season.
Well, I guess. And, the weather's starting to warm up. There's still some ice and snow out there. In fact, we had a chance to go out and do some trout stocking this week with Tom Nunnemacher, the local game, or WCO from Lycoming County. There's still some ice out there, but we got the fish in the water.
Today we're up in the Little Pine watersheds in Lycoming County, the main trib to Big Pine Creek, which is the lower section of the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania. We stocked 4 million trout this year, and we have about 4 to 5 weeks to do it. And right now, this year, with the unique weather system we're having, we have a lot of access problems with the deep snows and the ice along the streams. Little Pine is open. We're going to get most of those stocks.
Now, today we're putting in how many fish?
Today on the Little Pine watershed, we have about 20 miles of water. We're putting in 7,400 fish. Little Pine Creek gets primarily rainbows and browns. Brook trouts are basically reserved for the smaller, cold, well-oxygenated streams that we have in north-central Pennsylvania, which we have quite a few.
Now, these fish are coming from what hatchery?
This hatchery up here is Tylersville, over in southern Clinton County. It's some of the best waters, and it's the second largest spring in Pennsylvania. So it's very good, very healthy fish. They average 10 inches and just under half a pound.
Okay, so a pretty decent sized fish. Is that up from the years past, or is that down?
That's just a little bit below averages from the years past. For years, you might remember we've stocked 5.2 million fish. This year we're stocking 4 million fish. It's down a little bit. The poundage went from 55 pounds per 100 fish, down to about 44 per 100 fish. We had to make some modifications with our discharge permits and limits this year. Just throw it in, kick it in. There you go. Most of them stay right in the area. They do distribute around depending on the water conditions. Right now, with the ice and the frozen water and the lower water conditions, they're going to stay basically right where we put them. However, once we start getting rain, which is very soon, hopefully we're going to warm up soon, then the higher water comes and some of them tuck down under the rocks. It doesn't really disturb them that much because they're going to tuck down, but some of them are going to distribute themselves out throughout the stream looking for good habitat and food.
Come the first day, they don't necessarily want to go right to the spot where they were stocked. They'll move up and down, what,
sure.
30, 40, 50 yards?
Read the stream. Look for good habitat. Rocks, structure, food sources, pools, riffles. Look for stream sources. According to the people I've checked with fish in their possession, rainbows tend to move downstream quite a bit. Browns tend to move around too. It all depends on the size, time of year, and the species of fish we're putting in.
Here's a beauty.
Got a shot of that.
Today we're putting in about 20 trophy goldens. Statewide, out of those 4 million fish, we put in 20,000 brood trout. Plus 10,000 palominos was what we call them. Now we call them golden rainbows.
Golden rainbows instead of palominos.
Correct.
And those fish could be, what, 17, 18, 19?
They average 16 inches, but I've seen them up over 24 inches already.
And a few big browns thrown in, too?
That's correct.
Okay, so there'll be a big trophy fish for somebody up here. Okay, so Tom, you want us to throw these fish, you don't want us to dump them.
Yeah, wake them up.
What's the reason for that? What's that do?
Well, for one thing, these guys show up a little bit car sick. They aren't fed for 24 hours because we don't want them throwing up on the trip.
Okay.
They're stuffed in. One of our trucks holds about 4,000 trout. Nice cramped little quarters.
Up there and throws them, what's going to happen?
They're going to wake up. They're going to slap them up. If you just pour them in, they tend to sit there all stunned and a little bit shocky-eyed. The effluent problem, we've got it contained. We're within the DEP discharge limits right now, but of course we've had to make modifications. That's hence the drop from the 5.2 million to the 4 million fish. You raise 5 million fish or even 4 million fish, and they tend to defecate quite a bit of material back into the watershed. With the DEP discharge limits, obviously our trout hatcheries are on some of the nicest, cleanest waters in Pennsylvania, and those waters are supplied by springs. And because of that, in the Class A status of most of those waters, the discharge limit is very near zero. And it's kind of hard to get zero discharge limits when you're talking about nutrients, extra food, and defecation material from the fish when you're raising that many fish. But we're doing our best. Pine Creek in the springtime, in my opinion, is one of the best waters to fish in Pennsylvania. It's a great water to canoe down, to raft down, to fish, to have a good time in. And it literally gets stocked with 30,000+ fish. It's a great place to come out and enjoy yourself and go trout fishing. I stock close to 90,000 fish in my district, which is about 1,000 square miles. And I really don't want to carry those 90,000 in by myself. Pre-season, we always tend to have good enough help turning out. It's advertised. People want to know where the fish are come opening day. Now, obviously, when they're little, we take them out and we teach them how to swim. So they are going to move around in the stream, especially when we have a month before opening day. So it's not that very critical with help, so I encourage everyone out there to look up our stocking dates, which are on the web. Our web page is www.fish.state.pa.us. Look up our stocking schedules for your county. Go on out, help the warden stock the fish.
Hey, we want to thank Tom Nunemaker of the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission for that opportunity to go along and stock some trout. And as you can see, Jake, there's going to be a lot of trout out there and some dandy fish at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got trout season already prepared for, but you know, now is also a good time to be doing some other things like tackle, tinkering, and lure making and things like that.
I'm getting this rod and reel ready to give away from Grivet's Sporting Goods up there by Lackawanna State Park. And we're actually going to be making some fishing lures, so don't go away. When we come back, we're going to be making some jigs and some sinkers with one of our field staff members, so stick around.
We'll have even more POL Classics on WNEP Plus right after this.
Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. You know, Jake, I'm excited about this trout season. As we were talking just before the break, this is the time of year, if you can't get out, it's a time to be maybe fooling around with some of the tackle,
Right.
making lures,
Yep.
getting things ready to go.
Wearing clothes that look like salmon.
This is a salmon shirt. This is a fishing shirt.
That's not a pink shirt.
No, it's a salmon shirt.
Okay, we'll let you stick around for a while then. We actually did get together with one of our field staff members, Ray Sahaki. He said, "Come on over. I need to make some jigs. We're going to make some sinkers, and I could show you how to do it." And that's exactly what we did at Ray's Bait and Tackle. We're going to make a certain kind of jig head today, but it seems to me like you have molds for everything. What can you make if you have hot lead? What can you make out of these?
Oh, we can make lead head jigs. We can make bank sinkers, bank sinker. We could also make walking sinkers, which they use for the walleyes. It slips across the bottom. You can make just about anything out of lead. You can make split shots, or any kind of tube head or anything like that.
Besides the fact that this is a cool project, is it cost effective? Is it cheaper to make these things in the long run, or isn't it?
Yeah, it's if you do a lot of fishing and you use a lot of jigs, it's definitely a cost-saving tip.
What are we going to make here today, Ray?
Okay, we're going to make some lead head jigs to put your different lures on, and you could use them all different varieties and ways to do it.
A good winter project since it's pretty cold out there, huh?
Absolutely. It's a good way to spend the afternoon or the evenings. First thing you want to be extremely careful with is when you're melting lead, make sure you're using a nice solid ingot. This is what you call an ingot, a nice solid block of lead. Don't use pipes or anything like that, because the pipes, if you have any kind of moisture or any kind of water in a pipe and you put a pipe into your melter, it'll blow back and it'll explode on you. So what you want to use is a nice solid block, clean, with no dirt or anything like that in it. And we drop it into the pot. We just put it down into the pot and let it melt itself down.
And look at it, it's melting quick too in there, isn't it?
Yep. There it is. When it's watery looking, liquid, it's ready to be poured. So you use your 1/0 hooks and you just set them into the mold. Okay. Set them up and then you just close. You could put all 6. If you were doing a production, you could do all 6. Okay. And you just close this up. Okay, and now we're ready to pour.
Okay. And they're done.
Now they're done, and you want to let them cool because they could be hot coming out of the mold. Then once they're cooled,
are they cool already?
Yep.
Oh, that's incredible.
Instant.
Yeah,
Yep.
instantly.
Then we take a pair of pliers and we cut off the excess lead.
And that goes into the reuse pile.
Reused,
right?
ready to be reused.
And now they're ready to be dressed
Ready to
up
be
a little
poured.
bit. Yep.
Ready to be painted.
While the lead was hot, Ray and I made some different kinds of sinkers. In a matter of minutes, we had produced quite a pile of weights. Ray also paints his own jig heads.
The first step you were going to want to do is we'll want to put a nice coat of white spray paint on them, because if you don't put the white on and you just try to put your fluorescent color on, it's going to be a very dull color. So the white brings out the color, the fluorescent color.
Brilliance of it, right?
The brilliance of the color.
And this is just your basic white spray paint?
Just regular basic white for spray paint. We take it, you could dip them or you could spray them. I like to spray them because it's a lot easier. So I just take the spray paint and just spray them up. They're sprayed white, and now you just let them dry.
Once they're dry, the same procedure is done with the color of choice. We're using fluorescent green, or otherwise known as chartreuse.
A chartreuse jig head right there. How do you like that?
Instantly chartreuse. There it is.
Thanks for that little how-to lesson, Ray. And you know, Ray, we were just talking about how you probably have to do that because you enjoy it, because it is a little time-consuming. I mean, even if you save a couple of pennies here and there, it takes up some time.
I don't know if you save a lot of money, but I think it's fun.
It is a fun thing to do.
And going out and catching something on something you made, I think, is part of it.
Thank you, field staff member Ray Sahaki.
POL Classic, we'll have much more of it on WNEP Plus right after this.
Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. Quite a collection of fishing stuff. We'll look at it a little bit later from Griffith Sporting Goods up there by Lackawanna State Park. But of course, we're continuing to think about trout fishing. And even though this is stuff you use with the spinning rod, we have a field staff member that's pretty good with the fly rod.
Right. Jim Kostalnek is going to show us how to use tapered leaders and tippets in fly fishing.
Fly lines, leaders, and tippets. What do you need for the fish in the waters of Pennsylvania? I'm going to make it very easy. A floating line, a sinking line. This will get you below the surface. You'll stay on top of the surface with this. Most of the time, fishing smallmouths in the Susquehanna River, you're going to be using a sinking line. If you're fishing trout on the Lackawaxen, Lackawanna, Dyeberry Creek, or the Delaware River, the majority of the time you're going to be fishing a floating line. Keep it simple. There's no mystery to this. If you don't have a lot of background in fly fishing and you have some questions, please feel free to ask, email. I'll answer the questions for you. As far as leaders, they come in all different lengths and sizes. And 7.5-foot leaders, 9-foot leaders. What you'll find is that the longer the leader, the little harder it is to turn over the fly. What you want to make sure is that if you're casting a very heavy, larger fly, you want to try to keep your leaders a little shorter and a little heavier tensile strength on the end, maybe a 2X tippet. I'm Jim Kostalnik, and that's your tip of the week.
Jim, thanks a lot for that really helpful information for those who want to get started in fly fishing.
And you know what else is happening right now? The turkeys are gobbling. And in fact, if you want to find a turkey on a mountainside, the best thing to do is throw a locator call at it. To teach us how to do that, here's field staff member Dale Butler.
This week, we're going to cover locator calls. A locator call is nothing more than a call that makes a gobbler respond. He'll gobble real well at it. All it is a high pitch or a loud noise that we're trying to make. However, we want to use sounds that are familiar in the woods. One of my favorite calls is a hawk call. A hawk call sounds something like this. Another favorite call is a crow call. A crow call sounds something like this. One of the other calls we can use is a woodpecker call. A woodpecker call sounds something like this. And another surefire way to make a gobbler respond would be to make a gobble call. A gobble call sounds something like this. And the other way is an owl hooter. This is the sound of a barred owl. It goes. This is Dale Butler with your tip of the week.
There's a lot of people that could do all those things with their voice.
Yeah,
I
I
have
know.
fun doing it. I don't know how good I am at it, but that's a fun thing to do. Is
Probably
gobble
pretty
okay.
good at it, Jake. You know, I'm hearing some turkeys already.
All right, they're gobbling.
starting to gobble already.
Yep, absolutely. And you've got to be hearing a lot about the Pennsylvania Outdoor Life Expo, and we've got a lot of neat things going on there. It's free admission, free parking, and free entry to win something like this. One of our grand prizes is a boat from Hall's Marine. In fact, it's a Lowe's Sea Nymph V-Series fishing boat. Now get this, it's 14 feet long. It comes with 2 seats, a 25-horse Mercury motor, electric trolling motors in there, a fish finder, live well, and of course, Chad Hall says this is ready to rock and roll, whether you're fishing the Susquehanna River or the lakes in Pennsylvania.
And Jake, that's not the only grand prize. We have another great grand prize that we're going to be giving away, and that's going to be from Susquehanna Valley RV of Selinsgrove. It's a Starcraft folding camping trailer. I don't know if you've seen these things lately, but they're nothing like they used to be. This thing sleeps 6 people, has a water hookup and tank, electric hookup, gas stove. It's valued at over $5,000, and if you need more information on Susquehanna RV, call 570-374-2267.
Those guys are real excited.
What a great prize
They are
that's going to
real
be,
excited.
Jake.
Something brand new, something we're just announcing now is an antler measuring, not contest as much as a come on in and be measured. We are asking everybody with an antler, regardless of how big it is, to come to the Pennsylvania Outdoor Life Expo and have it measured by the Pennsylvania Deer Association or Quality Deer Management. Now take a look at what you will get applications to win. It's the deer box. It's made right here in Picture Rocks, Pennsylvania. It's over $1,000 value. Now this baby is absolutely windproof. It keeps you warm. In fact, it gets so warm you have to have a humidifier in there. And Skip Stroop from Picture Rocks is the manufacturer of that, and he says he wants to give one away. So here's how you win that. You show up at the expo, everybody will get one application, one entry form. But if you bring in an antler and have it measured at the Pennsylvania Deer Association Quality Deer Management booth, you'll get 5 more entry forms. There is a fee for this. Check out our internet site, and you can have your antler measured too. And I couldn't even begin to figure out how long this is or what the score is.
I don't know how to measure those, but if you got that little gizmo at the
Raculator,
you know how to do that.
There are guys that know how to do it with tape measures, and they will be at the Pennsylvania Outdoor Life
That'd be
Expo.
great, sure.
Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. Before we get into giving away some fishing equipment, two things we want to talk about. First of all is the Pennsylvania Game Commission reminds people that as of yesterday, a new law went into effect that keeps you from feeding bears intentionally. You can no longer feed bears intentionally here in the state of Pennsylvania. It is unlawful. And that whole design is to make sure that the bears try to go back into the woods and get away from the residential areas. So if you can make that happen, make that happen. One other thing we want to talk about real quickly is one of the things that we will be selling up there as a commemorative Pennsylvania Outdoor Life limited edition turkey call. And of course, it sounds really good. That's how I hold my turkey calls when I use a box call. This comes to us from Top Calls here, and on the other side it has the Newswatch 16 logo in it, and of course the most important thing is each call will be numbered and they will be sold at the Pennsylvania Outdoor Life Expo. We'd certainly like to thank Russ and Frank from Top Calls, and boy, I can't wait to get my hands on some of these. I think I'm just going to buy them and stick them away for my kids because this is a great little collector's item.
Great idea. And Jake, we're going to sign those for people if they want them signed, right?
I'll be there. I think we'll have writer's cramp by the end of it, but we'll definitely be there signing things.
Great little collector's piece. Hey, we have a lot of trout fishing stuff to give away here. We're going to be giving away actually an entire trout package. We've got the Shakespeare rod with the reel, matching reel. There are spinners here that are excellent early season trout lures. We've got snelled hooks. I mean, this is a complete package. Salmon eggs, which are a great early season piece. We've also got a tackle box, little lead weights. This is clever. Instead of the old wooden stick, Jake, we've got the plastic stick now that you can put in the ground and prop your rod up on. Whole package is coming to us from Griffith's Bait and Tackle, as well as a $5 gift certificate from Griffith's Bait and Tackle. Nice trout package for opening day.
He's out there by Lackawanna State Park, and Mark Griffith actually did a story of Mike Stevens where Mike caught a fish.
Oh, no, Mike did
believe
catch
it or
a
not,
fish.
Mike caught a catfish on the Susquehanna River with Mark. So
that is remarkable.
So he's got to know something about fishing.
He
Why don't you
actually
pick a name out of that? He has to know something about fishing if Mike Stevens wasn't jinxed by him. And
Harry Rainey from Waterville, PA. Harry Rainey.
Congratulations, Harry. Let us tell you a little bit about what we have for Pennsylvania Outdoor Life next weekend. Next weekend, what we're going to have is Susan Gallagher from the Carbon County Environmental Education Center talking about eagles and the eagle that she will bring to the expo for that Saturday. We're also going to be talking more about this antler measuring and how important quality deer management is. We've got an appearance from Gary Alt at the expo, and all of this stuff, if you need to know about the Pennsylvania Outdoor Life Expo, you can find it next week. Are you excited?
I'm looking forward to this. A whole lot of things going on. I'm excited about being there this year especially.
Now, while you're with us signing autographs, who's going to be selling your artwork?
Well, my wife is going to be in my booth selling my artwork, bronzes, and all that sort of thing. So I'll be back and forth between the two, but I'll be with the Channel 16 people.
Can you make me one big promise?
Sure,
maybe. Don't wear that shirt.
Don't wear that. I like this pink shirt.
That is a cute pink
salmon shirt.
For my buddy here wearing salmon, I'm Don Jacobs. For the entire team here at Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, enjoy the great outdoors. We'll see you next week.
See you later.
Pennsylvania Outdoor Life is a local presentation of WNEP-TV. We're proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania.
Trout. Thank you for joining us for a look back at POL Classics. Now I'm going to invite you to join us every Sunday night at 6:30 on WNEP+.